Ohio, 1995. Little Natasha Romanoff and her pretend sister Yelena Belova are playing in their home when Yelena trips and cuts her knee. Their mother, Malina Vostokov, gently patches her up. Soon after, their father, Alexei Shostakov, bursts in with urgent news. They must flee immediately. Rushing to a hidden hangar, the family scrambles onto a waiting plane just as S.H.I.E.L.D. agents close in. Bullets tear through the fuselage. Malina is struck, and Natasha must leap into the cockpit to pilot them to safety while Alexei clings desperately to the wing. Against all odds, they shake off their pursuers and lift into the sky. Touching down in Cuba, Malina is whisked away for emergency care, while Alexei meets with General Dreykov. When soldiers attempt to seize the girls, Natasha snatches a rifle from one of them to shield Yelena. Impressed by Natasha's courage, the men quickly tranquilize both children and load them onto a transport truck. A brutal montage follows. Natasha and Yelena, alongside dozens of other kidnapped girls, are delivered to the infamous Red Room. There, they endure relentless conditioning, physical trials, psychological manipulation, and ruthless training that forges them into elite Black Widow operatives. Fast forward 21 years. Natasha, which is Scarlett Johansson, is a fugitive, having defied the Sokovia Accords. General Thunderbolt Ross's forces surround her hideout, but she slips away before they can capture her. Meanwhile in Morocco, Yelena, Florence Pugh, tracks a target, Oksana. When Yelena corners her, she delivers a fatal knife blow, and in return is sprayed with a strange red gas. The toxin seems to shatter her mental programming, and she realizes she's just slain a friend. Scrambling, Yelena retrieves the remaining canisters and tears a tracking device from her arm. Dreykov, alerted by the signal's disappearance, dispatches his deadliest weapon, the Taskmaster. Natasha retreats to a safe house in Norway, where her old contact Rick Mason outfits her with fresh documents, and a mysterious parcel. Later, stranded on a deserted bridge for fuel, she's ambushed by Taskmaster, who mirrors her every move. Though she fights fiercely, the assassin hurls her off the bridge. When she regains her feet, Natasha inspects the package, more red dust, and childhood photos of her and Yelena. Determined to reunite, Natasha flies to Budapest. There, the sisters collide in a vicious brawl, until they exhaust themselves and call a ceasefire. Yelena explains how the red dust freed her mind and reveals the horrifying truth: the Red Room still thrives, and Dreykov's daughter lives. Their reunion is cut short when a squad of Black Widows descends upon them. Racing through the building, they topple a communications tower. Natasha fends off one widow mid-fall, only to hear her whisper that Dreykov controls them all, just before she takes her own life under his orders. Hot on their heels, Taskmaster emerges and chases Natasha and Yelena through winding city streets. They hijack a car and speed away, but an explosive arrow from Taskmaster sends their vehicle crashing into the subway below. Blood trails from Yelena's wounded arm lure their pursuer, yet the sisters cleverly split up, ducking into hidden alcoves until the threat passes. While patching Yelena's injury, she confronts Natasha with the truth she's carried for years: Natasha's order to eliminate Dreykov, unaware his young daughter Antonia was inside, haunts her every step. Needing allies to topple the Red Room, the two stock up on supplies and share a quiet drink, reminiscing about their fabricated childhood and brutal training. Natasha reaches out to Rick Mason, who secures them a small plane. Meanwhile, Alexei Shostakov is locked away in a Russian prison, amusing fellow inmates with tales of his days as the Red Guardian and even claiming to have sparred with Captain America, until he snaps a doubter's hand in proof. As alarms blare, Natasha and Yelena's aircraft hovers over the facility. Alexei flexes free of his cell, but guards rush him. Natasha swoops down, battling sentries, while Yelena lobs a grenade at a mountainside tower. The blast triggers an avalanche that buries the prison, yet Natasha plucks Alexei to safety. Reunited but resentful, Alexei and Melina's lies cut deep. The trio crash lands near Melina's secluded farm. There, Melina experiments on pigs with mind control serum. She greets her family warmly as Alexei flirts shamelessly, much to his daughter's disgust. He even struggles into his old Red Guardian suit, the strain of time evident in every button. Tension mounts at the dinner table when Natasha accuses them of fabricating their entire past, reducing Yelena to tears. Melina drops another bombshell. Natasha's real mother searched for her until Dreykov had her silenced. Alexei tries to soothe Yelena with a heartfelt rendition of American Pie, her favorite childhood tune. Their fragile reunion shatters when Melina betrays them, summoning Dreykov's agents. Bound and captured, the family is whisked to the Red Room, now a secret aerial fortress. Inside, Melina is escorted to Dreykov's chamber, only to reveal she's swapped places with Natasha in disguise. As guards prepare to execute the sisters, Melina guides Yelena through an earpiece to a hidden blade. Dreykov unveils his ultimate safeguards, a pheromone shield that wards off attackers and the taskmaster, Antonia, reborn as a mind-controlled weapon. He proudly displays dossiers on every widow he commands. Chaos erupts when Melina sabotages the base, blowing out an engine that sends guards plummeting, and the entire station spiraling earthward. As the structure begins to collapse, Alexei engages Antonia in brutal combat. As the base fractures around them, Yelena and Melina fight off Dreykov's guards, while Melina lures Antonia into a nearby cell. Alexei slams the door shut, trapping Taskmaster inside. Following Melina's instruction, Natasha hammers her own nose against Dreykov's desk to disrupt the pheromone field protecting him, then lunges forward, pummeling him. Dreykov summons more Black Widows, but Yelena unleashes the red dust canisters into the chamber. The explosion frees the widows from mind control, and Natasha urges them to flee. She pauses to unlock Antonia's cell, despite knowing the girl may seek revenge. With the facility collapsing, everyone scrambles outdoors. Alexei and Melina manage to board a departing aircraft, but Dreykov and his guards also climb aboard. In a desperate move, Yelena jams her electric batons into the engine's turbine, triggering a massive explosion that destroys the plane, and Dreykov, mid-flight. Thrown clear by the blast, Yelena plummets toward the earth. Natasha dives after her, catching her just in time and deploying a parachute. Once on solid ground, Antonia pursues Natasha. In their fierce confrontation, Natasha lifts her helmet and sprays Antonia with red dust, instantly breaking her father's hold. Yelena, Alexei, Melina, and the freed widows rush in to embrace Antonia, guiding her toward recovery. As authorities led by General Ross close in, Natasha shares a final farewell with her makeshift family. 2 weeks later, Natasha, now sporting blonde hair, meets Rick Mason at an airstrip, where a waiting jet promises her next mission, rescuing the Avengers from imprisonment and reuniting with her true family. Post-credits scene in 2024, Yelena visits Natasha's gravesite, accompanied by her new dog. As she mourns, Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine appears, offering Yelena a dossier on her next assignment, avenging Natasha by targeting Hawkeye. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story breakdown and want to see more content like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world and helps us keep bringing you awesome movie recaps. See you in the next video.